This is your class live for your project about Latin American writers. In this assignment, you'll be talking about two of our Latin American writers that we studied, Sorrentino and Borges. So what is the purpose of this essay? It's really to compare Borges and Sorrentino. Your assignment specifically mentions tone, style, word choice, and the themes that are revealed in both pieces of writing by the authors. So before you write this essay, you actually have some prep work to do. I highly advise you to go back to the stories and reread them. Go back into your lessons and make it fresh in your mind so you know what you're talking about when you're talking about Sorrentino and Borges. Definitely make sure you know what the themes are in each story. And try to make note of how the author expresses the theme through tone, word choice, and style. The assignment for the lesson for this assignment actually gives you a really good quotes from each story to start a comparison chart. And that's a great place to start, is make yourself a chart and start comparing, start pulling quotes that you think are significant and reveal theme and start comparing the two of them. Don't be afraid to do some research about each of the authors. Both of them are heavily influenced by their culture, and so because of that, their stories kind of are directly derived from their experiences. So that's your preparation phase. You do have to have a preparation phase for this essay. It's going to be really difficult for you to just pick up and write and remember direct quotes and be able to find them. So for writing your essay, think about your thesis. What are you saying about Borges and Sorrentino? What are you saying about their writing? Are you saying that they're similar because they shared similar cultural experiences? Are you saying they're different? Are the themes different? How are those themes revealed? Does Sorrentino use a different tone than Borges? Do they use different style? So that's what you need to be considering in your thesis. And then again, your main points. You have a couple options on how you want to write this essay. Your body paragraphs can be about the similarities and differences. They can address tone, style, and word choice, or you could compare themes, again, with that similarities and differences. So there are a lot of ways you can write this essay. Whatever you think is easiest is best for you. Personally, I think it would be simpler to do two body paragraphs, one about the similarities and one about the differences, but that's a personal preference. So here's a basic outline of what your essay needs to look like. You need to have an introduction. This should always include an introductory statement, an explanation of your main points, and your thesis. Always, always, always include the titles and authors that you will be discussing. If the titles and authors are not included in your introductory paragraph, I will give it back to you and tell you to fix it. So please, please, please do it. After your introductory paragraph, you will have your body paragraph. This will start with your intro statement or a topic sentence. Your evidence, which should be direct quotes from each piece of literature that you're working with, and an explanation of that evidence. You can give great quotes, but if you don't explain them, it's difficult for your reader to understand why you're using them. Utilize quotes and explain them. In your concluding paragraph, once again, you'll have your thesis, your main points, and a concluding statement. Again, your concluding paragraph should absolutely include titles and authors. When you're putting evidence into your body paragraphs, make sure you include either the title or the author that quote is coming from. Make sure that you're giving us a clear analysis when you're comparing these two writers. Some final thoughts. Does your essay draw parallels or note the differences in each author's writing? Again, that's the point of your essay here, is to say, I know the differences between the two, I know the similarities, and I can discuss them intelligently. Okay? Are you using quotes from each piece of writing to prove your point? If you're not using direct quotes from the literature, then your essay is not fulfilling these requirements. You need to be able to clearly demonstrate where Sorrentino and Borges are different. Okay? And the last thing I want you to think about is, does my essay prove that I read the stories and that I can draw the parallels and see the differences? If you're vague, it's very difficult for me to understand what it is you're referencing. Something a lot of students do will say, they use really good simile and metaphor. Prove it. Give me an example of simile or metaphor. If you say, they use really depressed tone, prove it. Give me a quote where their tone is depressed and sorrowful. Any claim that you make needs to have evidence. So make sure that you are giving that evidence. Please don't forget to indent your paragraphs. If you have questions about any of this, let me know. I'm totally willing to work through it with you, to walk through it. As always, please reread your essay. Read it out loud. Read it to a parent, a friend. Call me and read it to me. Or email it to me and I'll call you and read it to you. Always reread it. You'll catch any awkward phrases. You'll catch a lot of mistakes that aren't unintentional. Otherwise, if you've got questions or concerns, let me know. Good luck with your Latin American Writers Project.